The moment my sister said I didn't belong in the family, my father nodded. That was the moment I realized something terrifying. She wasn't insulting me. She was saying something everyone else had already decided. It happened on a Tuesday night at dinner. Nothing dramatic, just the four of us sitting around the table like we had 1,000 times before. My sister Rachel was scrolling on her phone while Mom talked about some upcoming family vacation they were planning. A beach resort, 7 days. Ocean view rooms. I noticed something strange. Every time they said family, they never looked at me, not once. Finally, I asked the obvious question. "So when are we leaving?" Rachel laughed. Not a small laugh, a sharp one. She put her phone down and looked at me like I had just said something ridiculous. "We," she said. The word hung in the air. Mom suddenly got very interested in her plate. Dad cleared his throat. Rachel leaned back in her chair. "You're not coming." I blinked. "Why?" She shrugged. "Because you don't belong in this family." The room went quiet. I waited. Not for Rachel. For my parents. For someone to say she was being cruel. For someone to tell her to stop. Instead, Dad slowly nodded. And Mom said quietly, "Maybe Rachel's right." I don't remember breathing after that. Not yelling, not crying. Just sitting there. Feeling something inside me quietly break. The strange thing is, part of me wasn't surprised. When you grow up slightly outside the circle your whole life, you learn to recognize the shape of the wall. Family photos where you're always standing at the edge. Decisions made without you. Achievements that barely get noticed. Meanwhile, Rachel could sneeze, and it became a family celebration. I guess that night, the truth just finally came out loud. No one argued. No one apologized. Dinner ended 10 minutes later. I went upstairs, closed my door, and started packing, not dramatically, just calmly. Clothes first, then books, then the small things, important documents, old photos. The weird thing was how peaceful I felt, like I had spent years waiting for permission to leave, and someone had finally given it to me. 2 days later I left a note on the kitchen counter. It said one sentence: "You were right. I don't belong here." Then I walked out. No one stopped me. No one called. Weeks passed, then months. Life got quiet. I found a small apartment across town, got better at sleeping, better at breathing. The constant tension I'd grown up with slowly faded. Then one night, my phone started vibrating across the table. I looked down. Rachel. Missed call. Then another. And another. By the time I picked up the phone, there were 15 missed calls. And one message: "Please call me." It's urgent. I stared at it for a long time. Part of me almost ignored it, but curiosity is a powerful thing. So I called back. She answered immediately. "Where have you been?" she said, her voice shaking. "I moved out," I said. Silence. Then chaos exploded on the other end of the line. Voices, arguing, my mother crying, my father shouting something in the background. Rachel sounded like she was about to panic. "We need your help." I leaned back in my chair. "With what? They won't let us check out of the resort." I blinked. "What?" "It's the payment," she said. "Something's wrong with the account. The card keeps getting declined. They say the reservation wasn't properly guaranteed, and now there are extra charges and—" She started rambling. I interrupted. "Rachel, what? Whose name is the travel account under?" She paused. "Yours. Of course it was." For the past 3 years, I had been the one quietly managing a lot of things for my parents. Travel accounts, insurance policies, emergency documents. Dad always said I was the responsible one. Rachel never noticed. To her it probably just looked like things magically worked. Until they didn't. "So," I said slowly, "you need the person who doesn't belong in the family." She didn't respond, but I could hear her breathing. Fast. Desperate. "Please," she whispered. In the background my dad shouted, "Is she fixing it?" Rachel started crying. "I'm sorry," she said. "Okay? I'm sorry for what I said." The apology didn't feel heavy. It felt rushed. Like something said during an emergency. I leaned back in my chair. "You told me I didn't belong in this family." "I didn't mean it." "Yes, you did." Silence. Then I said the one thing that had been sitting in my chest since that dinner. You don't get to erase someone and still expect them to save you. Rachel broke down. Full sobbing now. For a moment, I almost hung up. But I didn't. Because here's the truth. Helping them didn't mean I was going back. It just meant I wasn't becoming like them. So I logged into the travel account, fixed the authorization issue, transferred the payment, sorted the insurance flag that had triggered the problem. 5 minutes, that's all it took. I texted Rachel. It's done. She replied instantly. Thank you. That was it. No long message, no speech, just 2 words. 3 days later, they came home. I saw my parents for the first time since I left. They looked at me differently. Not warmly, but differently, like they were realizing something uncomfortable. Rachel didn't say much, she just avoided my eyes. And that was fine, because something had changed. For the first time in my life, they understood something. The person they said didn't belong was the one holding everything together.